Hello, I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond. And speaking of lost, I'm starting to lose my marbles being in quarantine so long, and being here for now, I think it's 8 days. I've been giving some thought to some of the things that I miss about the outside world. And, you know, I'm not just talking about sort of fast food joints that are different in both countries, but sort of just really random mundane objects. You know, like a wheelbarrow, for example. I'm not.
Yeah, you guys have some. Sorry, what's the story? You guys have some crazy stuff in America. I've been watching a movie or a TV show, and I'm like, what is that? There's so many things that it's not coming up to me right now. But as we watch this right now, I'll tell you guys. But you guys have some unique stuff over in the US. Let's go.
I'm not suggesting we don't have wheelbarrows in England. That's an example of a mundane object. And I want to talk about specifically 7 of those objects that I hadn't seen until I moved to America. Yep, I'm really longing for those water towers, steel water towers specifically, because we do have water towers in Britain, but they're concrete and look really brutalist and like they were made in the 60s. In America, all across the country, they have these kind of water towers that are they're in the middle of nowhere usually, and they're made of steel, and on the facade of them, they have the name of the town, and it's usually something like Snakesville. And you never see anybody near them or in them. I don't know what...
This is weird. So I'm really into true crime. And most of the crime that I watch is from the United States. About 99% of the crime I watch is from the United States. And whenever a crime occurs, they show that. So they're watching a crime on Netflix and documentary. They'll be like, Tingy-Majingy, Louisiana. Then they show this little, that whatever that thing is. Every time. It's so right. It's so true. You don't think of it. We don't have that over here. We don't have that. I've never seen that over in the UK. Never. UK and Ireland. Nah, never. Let me know. You guys have that in your town? Is it mainly in little towns? Or like is it major cities? Towns are in cities. I've lost my marbles here. Let's continue.
What they be doing. Usually something like Snakesville. And you never see anybody near them or in them. I don't know what they be doing in them. Perhaps replenishing the water. I don't know how water towers work. I just know that America has a lot of them, and you see them when you're on the highway, motorway, just like our next entry. Yes, highway-based billboards. Who would have thought? I certainly wouldn't have until I moved to the United States. And that's because we don't really have them in Britain. We do have them in city centres, but you're not going to find them on the side of the road, you know, because it's distracting, especially when it says something, you know, profound like Jesus has risen. You're going to take notice of that and, you know, crash into the car in front of you. And if you don't have insurance, then you are screwed. Ironically, a lot of the billboards are for insurance, so at least you know who to call. I joked a moment ago about the kinds of things you might see on American highway billboards, but the truth is, anyone can really get an ad on those things. They often say, advertise here if there's nothing on it. And unless you have A, no heart, and B, a death wish, you also wouldn't want to crash into the back of one of these. Yellow school buses. I didn't grow up here as a child, so of course I never got to ride one. Probably never will, unless I become a bus driver.
You guys don't understand. Oh my God. Again, I grew up watching American TV. So watching kids, especially when I was about probably like between the age of like 11 to 15, whether you're watching your Nickelodeon, you're watching your Disney Channel, and you see these kids, you know, going to school with, in the buses. And like that used to be a dream of mine. Getting picked up by the bus driver, dropping everyone up. Because like my school was literally about 10. Actually, when I think of it, I was so lazy. Because my school was literally about 15 to 20 minutes walk. Less than 5 minutes drive. But my parents still pick us up and go drop us up. But like the yellow school buses was a 10. I would love, actually, nah, am I too old for a yellow bus? Probably too old for it. But what he said about the billboards, you never can see a billboard here. I think that's distracting. Let me know what you guys think. That is so distracting. Because I do long journeys here, especially when I'm in Scotland. Imagine driving for 3 hours and you're just seeing doom, doom, doom. You're seeing, I don't know, erectile dysfunction. Nothing personal, just... Why did that come to my head? Are you having erectile dysfunction? Which is normal. Call 0800. You're there trying to go look at the number. Boom. Crash. Gone. So the erectile dysfunction doesn't matter, does it? Now you're dead. Does it? Sorry. I don't know what it is, but I'm that kind of person that when something comes in my head, I can't help it, but I have to say it. I don't know what it is. I don't care. But yeah, billboards, we don't have it. Let me know. How common is it over there? It must be very common. Let's go.
So, of course, I never got to ride one, probably never will, unless I become a bus driver or a parent on some sort of school trip. Do they do that? I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, growing up, I did see school buses, yellow school buses, in films like Superman and Forrest Gump. Those are just examples of films. But, I didn't think they existed in real life. This was quite a revelation to me. They're everywhere. It's not just in Indiana where I lived. It's also in Chicago. It's everywhere. I mean, you do see these yellow school buses.
Actually, one question. Do you guys know why are they yellow? Anyone know? Please let us know. Thank you.
Where I lived, it's also in Chicago. It's everywhere. I mean, you do see these yellow school buses everywhere, and I recognise that the majority of my audience is American, and this is probably profoundly weird to hear somebody talk about how yellow school buses are very widespread in this country. But I don't think they're used anywhere else in the world, or at least to my knowledge, they're certainly not used in Britain. I used to get to school by jogging. That's not true. I did take the bus, but it was one of those sort of stagecoach buses, double-decker, so I got to sit on top, not at the back with the cool kids, at the front actually, and but they weren't yellow, and as you can see, I like yellow. I'm wearing this in solidarity with the school children. I'm not. It's the first thing I found in my wardrobe. I'd be lying if I said that yellow school buses were the only outdoor object that I learned through the films. That also applies to our next entry. White picket fences, the like of which you see in the film American Beauty and other such suburban-based films. It reminds me of American suburbia now that I've lived here long enough, but for the longest time, it was just part of the sort of movie set for me to make something look very pristine and idyllic and all of that. You'll occasionally see white picket fences here in different parts of Chicago. They're kind of rare, I suppose, but you do tend to see them at houses of families who've really taken care of their garden, okay? And in Britain, we don't have these kind of fences. A lot of our gardens are sort of framed off by brick walls or sometimes just shrubs and bushes and things. That's not a euphemism. You'll also see in the US mesh fences around gardens as well.
Do you guys think the white picket fence probably has to do with the weather? And I think also when you watch TV shows and movies, it's always like, it's the American dream. To have your family, your wife, your kids, the white picket fence. You hear that a lot. But I'm guessing probably because a white picket fence is not going to be strong for winter, maybe. So maybe it's sort of like places where it's hot, maybe like down the south, your Alabama, your Louisiana, your Florida. Did I actually just get the geography right? If I did, give myself a little clap, because I'm bad in geography and I've been trying to learn American geography. But I think that's why. But you don't really see, it's all brick, it's all cement over here. But I think it's because of the weather and they want to try and build something strong. Does that make sense as to why? My brain just works, so I don't know. Is that right?
They're kind of low down, they're just high enough that dogs can jump over them, but never do because they're too stupid. And they seem like they're there to just sort of stop people from breaking in, especially those fences that have beware of the dog on the side. Now, please, America or anyone watching this, don't take this as a green light to think you can go and burgle people's houses in Britain. They still have security measures and fences too. I'm underplaying it, but we don't have white picket fences. We also don't have these. Allow me to clarify, our houses do have mailboxes in the United Kingdom, except our mail doesn't go into a mailbox, it goes into a letterbox, and our mail's called the post. I hope that was clear. And those letterboxes are usually on the front door, right? So letterman or postman, Letterman is a chat show host. Postman, post women, post people, right? They have to go right up to the door and become intimate with your house. Not so in the United States, or at least not always. You will have those kind of houses where just in front of their garden or yard, they'll have a mailbox that's sticking on kind of a pole, and there's just this tube, I suppose, a metal tube into which you put things, and then people have to go out and get it. I suppose it does promote exercise, which is needed in these quarantine days. We just don't want to come into contact with the post people or mail people. It doesn't matter what you call them; they're the same entity. Well, the different people. You get the point, basically. Don't touch the post people. And if
it's so true. I've never seen a gaff. Gaff means house. I've never seen a house in the UK that's got that kind of post box. Never. It's always like it's on your door. They got a tiny little square on your door. You put the post through it. When you think of it, anyone can just come and look through, but you don't. No one does that here. But yeah, it's such an American thing. You don't really see in most countries, do you? I'm trying to think. Whenever I go around Europe, no. Even when I go around Europe, I travel around Europe a lot. It's always the post, the letterbox is part of the door, the main door. Why is it like that in the US? Why?
If you do, wash your hands for 20 seconds with soap, making sure not to get your water from one of these. I'll tell you a story. When I was 19 years old, I was a big gamer. I was well into video games, and one of the video games that I played was a little game called Die Hard with a Vengeance. And you're just swanning around New York City, I think, probably, and you can crash your car into just stuff, right? And one of those stuffs was a fire hydrant, a very American-looking fire hydrant that looks like this. They're more or less cylindrical, speaking in a pitch that only dogs recognise, and I only described them as that to differentiate them from fire hydrants in Britain. Fire hydrants in Britain are nowhere near as sexy, and believe me, I didn't think I'd wake up today and say that either. They're just these brutalist-looking square things with an H on them, and no, they're not for landing miniature helicopter, nor do they signify a hospital. I actually don't know what they do. If a fire breaks out in the middle of the road, when does that ever happen? I wouldn't know what to do. I don't know how to operate these things, right? Who does?
That's so true. I see that. What is that? I think one thing I've learned is that you do not park near them. Because I've seen people get tickets whenever you watch a movie or TV show, or if you watch any YouTube vloggers. I think I've kind of learned, do not park near or beside a fire hydrant in case there's fire. But why is it like that? What is main use? Is to just spread what is it? I know I might sound a bit stupid, but I literally do not. I'd rather be honest. I'd rather look stupid and learn than pretend as if I know. I don't know. Does water just splash out? I don't know. I really don't know. I see everywhere. I see when I'm watching. I've never been to the US, but it's always there. It's everywhere in the US. But what is it? What does it actually do? How does it work? Any fire hydrant specialist, let us know.
The experts, whereas American fire hydrants are absolutely gorgeous. They kind of look like elongated fireman helmets. Was that on purpose? Again, for the benefit of the dogs. It can't have been, and I'm absolutely certain I wouldn't have made the correlation had I not been stuck in here for 8 days. I'm going mad, you know. How does the outside world look right now? Do people still have wind chimes? Do they still, do they still raise these? The American flag, and I suppose there's a very good reason as to why I didn't encounter this until I moved to America, and it's because it's America's flag, so that makes total sense right off the bat. I think in Britain, pound for pound, we probably, or at least when I lived there, didn't fly the flag, the British flag, as much as America tends to fly its flag. It's very culturally ingrained to do that, isn't it? My in-laws do it, everybody does it, even educated fleas do it. That would be impossible. They don't have the strength to lift up fabric, but they're bloody smart, hence being educated. I don't know how I got sidetracked there, but yes, the US flag is absolutely everywhere. Again, this is not just something you'll see in films, and I think there's an understanding that Americans are deeply patriotic. How do you pronounce it? Let me know in the comments below. And it's not just outside of people's houses that you'll see these flags. You'll see them on the back of trucks. You'll see them hanging on sort of company buildings. Don't know why I pronounced it like that. And just sort of everywhere. I mean, it really is everywhere. Sometimes you'll see absolutely huge American flags, and you can usually see them for about 5 miles away. That way at least you know what country you're in. And so that's it. 7 outdoor objects I only encountered after moving to America.
I think with the last one, with the flag, it's such a crazy one, because over here in the UK, what I've learned is that people tend to think if you got your flag up in the UK, you're racist. That's what, like, I remember. And also, do you know what's crazy? The older you get, the more you realize, why did I believe for this shite? Like, I remember, I think it was mainly during the Black Lives Matter in the US. Because obviously down here, they were doing some kind of I never went for a march. Because I know, like, people that were complaining didn't go through any racism. I live in the UK. Let me tell you guys something. I lived in Ireland here for more than 10 years anyway. For more than 10 years. I lived in a village full of white people. And I barely experienced any. There might be a bit of ignorance right here and there, but I barely experienced any racism. And I had people trying to tell me during Black Lives Matter, oh yeah, we've been through stuff. Like, what have we actually been through? What have we? You want me to be mad at people that I play football with, people that I work with, people that I see almost every single day, that are nice to me. I know everyone has their own, scenario, but like, don't put everyone in one circle. So I remember back then, if you had your flag up in the UK, it was seen as, it's racist. I mean, I don't care. It's your flag. In America, it's more for like, they fought for the flag. When I watch videos like the Spangled Banner, it's about, was it Richard Keys, Scott Keys? Yeah, Scott Keys. They fought for the flag. The flag means a lot to them. So let them fly it. Let them fly the flag. It's none of my business. I don't care. At least you do not care about what you do. It's your beliefs. Everyone has their own beliefs. So I don't like when people say, oh no, you can't do this. You can't do that. Shut up. Sorry. Not shut up. But yeah, that was really fun. The ones I really enjoyed, that stuck out to me was the fire hydrant. The fact that you guys do ads on the motorway. That's just the yellow school buses, obviously, and the water tank thing. It's just, I'm sure there's way more stuff that I can't wait to see when I come over there. It's be like, ooh, be like a shock. Before you guys as well, if you guys come to the UK, you'll be like, what's going on? Also, I keep forgetting, I talk so quick. So let me know, do you guys understand me most of the time? Or you just go on the flow? Or you have subtitles on? I always forget I talk so quick. Sorry. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed that, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.